All right, here we are. John Randall, Phil Rizdon, doing something. We don't know what it is we're doing. I don't know where to look. Should I look at the camera? Should I look at Phil? Where do I go? What do I do? I don't know.
Look everywhere.
Right?
Welcome, guys, to whatever the fuck this is. Me and Jonathan decided to get together and fucking talk about some shit.
Right? Man. We're talking. We don't even know. Are we going to release this? Is this just like our test episode? Like, we just want to check out our chemistry.
I know. But I feel like we got some good chemistry.
Yeah, we already got it. It's true. We already know. This is like our third project.
Yeah. I would say it is our third project, and I feel like I know what notes to hit with you.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Like for instance,
don't be pro-Israel. No.
Yes.
What happened to me, Jonathan?
No. Let me see. I think a good place for us to start, because we were talking about in Jonathan's episode of his show, How You Like Me Now, episode 8, we talked about Miss Cleo. I know. Nice plug.
Episode 9. Episode 9 we talked about.
Oh, shit. Episode 9. I'm sorry.
God, Phil, as a producer, can't even keep track of the episodes I have.
I'm so
and he wants to do another project.
I know. I'm awful.
Episode 9.
But we were talking about episode 9. Please check it out. Please subscribe. Well, we were talking about
this podcast is just us promoting the other podcast.
Yes. And the podcast is just an hour and a half of Jonathan interrupting me.
Sorry.
It's just fucking no. We talked about the Miss Cleo documentary that has come out. So I want to ask you, Jonathan, do you believe in any sort of mysticism whatsoever?
Not really. I don't really feel like I do believe in any sort of mysticism, you know?
And why is that?
The same reason I don't believe in religion, the same reason I don't believe in magic, the same reason I don't believe in, unicorns. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I don't think it's real, I don't think I don't think it's real. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's some aspects of mysticism that I could get down with, but I don't overall just saying mysticism, I don't think I'm it sounds like bullshit to me. Fucking
I guess. I don't know. Listen, I'm not the type of guy who burns sage or any of that type of shit.
Oh, I burn some sage.
Oh.
But
really?
It's not in a mysticism sort of way, just gotta get this funk out or whatever,
so you use it just as as an air freshener.
Basically, yes, to change smells. And I've had some friends that were more into it.
Tribes who cleanse spirits from homes.
I've got
centuries. You're this is good. This is better than pine salt,
right? That's what I'm like. Gotta cover something up. Just burn a little bit of this sage. And I've had friends that are after I went through a breakup or whatever, they wanted to come over and burn sage smudge or whatever.
Well, that's fucking stupid. But
okay, that's the stupid. What's the non-stupid sage usage?
Yeah, well, no, there is no non-stupid sage usage. I hate sage. This has just been an anti-commercial for sage.
Fuck sage.
Fuck sage. But the reason why, I don't know. I was just asking about all that type of stuff because it makes sense. You seem like somebody who doesn't believe in all that type of stuff, but I was raised very Christian and everything like that, so it's not something that we necessarily leaned into, but I definitely think that there is a rhythm to the world.
Jesus was a magician.
Yeah, in a way.
Turned water into wine. He walked on water. Yeah. David Blaine is that's my guy. David Blaine's inspiration.
See, this is
and then he got hung up on a cross. David Blaine's hanging himself up everywhere, He's how long can I last in a water? Can I last on a crane? Can I last in ice? I never put it together until now, Phil.
Taking down Jesus and
David Blaine wants to be Jesus.
Listen, David Blaine is awesome. But he's no.
Oh, you love him? By the way, I love when David Blaine puts out the videos and he goes to black neighborhoods.
Yes.
And I love black people's reaction to magic, by the way. Black people have the best reaction to magic ever, they get really spooked about it. They get really we gotta get out of here.
Well, I think they just might be mystified by trying to figure out what his race actually is.
Right?
You know what I
Nobody
mean?
knows.
They're looking
What
at
is
him
he?
like he's a Dead Sea Scroll. They're like, oh my God, what are you? You're so.
And what's with the weird like shit he does like with swallowing water and like he spits it out like later? Like that's not a fucking magic. That's
No,
just being gross.
it's
Where
weird.
did you learn that from? Like some binge purge sorority house?
Yeah, I mean, David Blaine's he's weird. He sucks. I don't actually like him. I was just kind of yes-anding, trying to get us.
No, thank you. I think they're good comparisons between him and Jesus, and
Sure.
I'm glad those UCB classes worked out.
Thank you. Yeah, I am glad that I, reduced the Son of God to simple parlor tricks. But that's never what I intended.
Son of God.
Now we're here. I don't know, dude. Do you? So you're all into the obviously you're raised culturally Jewish, but do you
Right.
do you believe in any of it? I just want to.
I don't really believe in like religion. I don't believe in mysticism. I don't believe in superstition. I don't believe Jesus was the Son of God either. But how annoying must have that kid have been at school? My dad will smite your dad or whatever, like, okay, we get it, Jesus. Your dad is God, all right? Just let it go. Talk about fucking nepotism.
But that's the problem. That's why everybody wrote about him for fucking hundreds of years, because he wasn't a spoiled brat. You know what I mean? He was the Son of God.
You're right.
this whole
Apparently he
time,
was
and
he was a
just
good
super
dude.
chill, trying to feed everybody. Imagine if you had the son of Kanye.
Oh my gosh,
He's
they're
a
gonna be
monster.
Sticks.
Monster.
Does Kanye have a son? I know
He does have a.
he has a
he does have
daughter,
son.
right?
I think his
North?
son's name is like his daughter's name is North. His son's name is like King or some shit.
King?
I don't fucking
Oh
remember.
god, that's even worse.
One of those.
You thought
It's like
North
one of
was a
those
dumb
names.
name, and then you're like King.
I don't know. I think some of the names are
Gets beat up.
Some of the names are good. It's better than Jonathan. Okay.
Jonathan means gift from God, by the way.
All right. Well, hey.
Yeah,
maybe this gift
straight
should've been
from the
returned.
Bible. But King is not better than Jonathan. By the way, I'm not crazy about Jonathan because like everybody knows a Jonathan. There are millions of Jonathans. Like it's not a very unique name at all. It's
Yeah.
like fucking Jonathan, boring Jonathan, But King, how pretentious is that to name your kid King?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the kid's gonna be like, I'm King. Like, shut up.
Listen, my whole thing with when it comes to religion and all that stuff, especially when it comes to like Christianity and all that shit, is that basically, yes, I don't necessarily believe that Jesus was the Son of God or anything, but I do think he most likely did exist. And I think he was tapped in to a certain level of understanding of what the universe is, maybe in the same way that people who do a decent amount of psychedelics and who have high intelligence are. You know what I mean? But at
I
the
didn't
time,
realize that Jesus was tripping on ayahuasca.
No, he wasn't.
And listen, there might be a Jesus type figure that existed. I don't believe he was Jesus the way that America perceives him. But the story of Jesus happened through many different cultures and civilizations long before the Jesus that we know.
Yeah, but
that's like, in the pictures, like other.
I'm not
They
talking
had
about-
like the story of Jesus born to a virgin around, that time of year,
but
North
I'm
Star, all
I'm
that
not
bullshit.
talking about Jesus the events. I'm talking about Jesus the mentality.
Jesus the mentality.
Yes, that's what I mean. You're looking at it as like, oh, this guy, his mom got knocked up by God and she never fucked anybody.
Bullshit. She was just a whore that got fucked up by some random guy, and then she was like, it was God.
Yeah, that's most likely what happened. Or they were just having sex, out of wedlock. I don't know if that was actually her husband. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Whatever the fuck. But they had a kid. I think he was just somebody who understood what life is. And I've met tons of people who understand life's energy, and then they have a great way of connecting with people and making them care about things, you know what I mean? And making them look introspectively in their own lives. Very similar to Miss Cleo.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
hey, that's a good thing.
That's all I'm saying.
I think that's a good thing to have people do that. But I mean, I don't think you have to think or pretend to be the Son of God to do that, but I think that is something that people should do.
No.
So, Jesus did have like this, he was like a nice guy. He helped the poor.
Sure,
It
but I
seemed
don't
like he
necessarily
wasn't a
even
prick.
think. I mean, I don't even necessarily think he. That's the thing is when it comes to religions, people throw all their shit onto it, and obviously we
Right.
know like religion has been used by different societies throughout time to victimize people and treat people like shit.
100%. I think organized religion, is just a way to control people. That's what it is to me, 100%. So, like,
to a certain level, but I think that Jesus, when he calls himself, the Son of God or whatever, I don't even think he actually ever referred to himself truly as the Son of God. And if he did, I think it's more in the sense of like, hey, we are all sons of the Creator, sons and daughters. I don't think.
Oh,
think he
that's
meant
a much nicer way of looking at it.
I don't think he meant that. I think the world put that on him. Maybe even his followers put that on him. It was like he's the son of God. I think he just had a very fucking loosey goosey fucking hippie-ish way of looking at the world, a very enlightened way of looking at the world in a similar way as like the Buddha and this, that, and the third. I mean,
okay. I mean, hey, I like the picture you're painting,
all
but
I'm saying
I
is
don't think that
close your eyes
Jesus
to
was really
mysticism.
that was real. I don't think Jesus was real.
I do. I don't think he turned fishes and loaves into billions, and I don't think he turned water into. I don't think any of that shit happened.
Okay,
but I do definitely think that there was somebody. He may or not have even had that name, but there was somebody at that time that is that was being documented or whatever that was doing things that were connecting people and talking in a certain radical way that the public, certain people in that society did not like. And so
I could dig that.
Colluded together to have him murdered. And then he never came back.
Know what I like about Jesus?
Yeah.
He was a Jew.
There you go.
Just like me.
Yeah. And then you're hating on him. I thought you guys are known for supporting
we
each
got
other.
people, right? We're supposed to have each other's backs. But I don't think Jesus was real. I don't believe he's real. I think he's not. It's just like a story that's passed on.
But you're going to fucking shit on a fictional Jew? I love every fictional black person. That exists.
Am I going to shit on fictional Jews?
Cleveland Brown? Love the guy. He's
from Family Guy?
He's from Family Guy. Okay. That was a joke.
I was like, what are we talking about?
God damn it.
Cleveland Brown. Sounds like Cleveland Browns. Is that like a team that they have there?
No, I think that was just a joke of a name to give him. Cleveland Brown. But anyway, all I'm saying is...
Does that sound racist when I say it?
What, Cleveland Brown?
Cleveland Brown. Is that a football team? The Browns are coming to the field. God.
I mean, it would be racist if there was a black guy who walked up to you and was like, "Hi, I'm Cleveland Brown," and you're like, "Cleveland Brown? What is that?" Then that would be racist. But just saying Cleveland Brown as an abstract name, and
I was like, "I'm Johnny White."
Team. Yeah, and I would make fun of people if they had the name Johnny White and call them so. Not even Jonathan White or John White, Johnny White.
Johnny White.
That's weird. That sounds like a 1940s alias. You know what I mean? He's like,
hey, how you doing? See, I'm Johnny White. Welcome.
With a Tommy gun. All I'm saying is, though, I feel like, as far as like crystal balls and all that extra shit, no. But I do think there is a rhythm to the world, and I do think that certain people are tapped into it and tuned into it more than other people. And I do think that some of those people sometimes can turn out to, be psychics or life coaches or fucking comedians,
cult leaders.
Yeah, and cult leaders at times too.
But I kind of dig like what you're saying. You
don't have to negate everything, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying I hear what I agree. I like this aspect, but you're kind of taking like almost the mysticism out of it. I feel like where it's just more like there are people that are just more like intuitive. They're just more in touch with who they are. They're just better at perhaps reading people. They're just more grounded. There's that aspect, but I am bringing an extra level of not just simply knowing themselves, but simply knowing existence. Like tons of us have met people who are quote unquote old souls. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to get called an old soul. Now I realize that just meant, hey, you're a child and we think you're depressed. But you're just a child with depression. You're an old soul.
An old soul.
Have some Adderall.
You're super chill. But no, I think there are certain people where you meet them and you're like, this person's been here before, and they don't know. It's not about
like they've lived another life.
Yes, and they might not even believe that they've lived another life. But I'm saying they have an energy of things, where it's just like, I don't know. Though I don't necessarily believe in the. As Pete Holmes would say, lifeguard God. All right, the one who watches you is like, you're 12 and you're touching your dick, so you're going to hell and all that. I don't believe in that God.
It was asking for it. You should have seen what my dick was wearing when I was 12.
Jesus Christ, that's a fucking turd. I'm trying to be sincere here. You're a monster.
Okay, hey.
That's hilarious. But no, I might not necessarily believe in like a lifeguard God that watches you and all that shit and has human emotions connected to the things that you do. I don't believe in that type of God, but I do believe that there is a spiritual energy that we all share together with each other at once and collectively that makes, consciousness and our existence as a whole.
I mean, I could agree with that,
and I don't think that's necessarily mysticism, but it's also not science either.
Well, isn't there something besides that? Because matter can't be destroyed; it only like changes shape. Like we all have an energy inside of us. Some people might call it a soul, but there's definitely something that like changes when we die. We do all have that. There is that kind of connection between us as humans that we kind of have that thing. So like, I mean, but I just think that's like that's more real,
What's more real?
Like saying that like we have an energy amongst us that like we all share as human beings, and that there's energies in the world like that is real. That like that but saying that has some other like layer from like a creator or something, or some like religious aspect to it. Like I don't know if I like. Well, I could buy that there's something greater than us, but I always fall back on like that quote. It's like a Shakespeare quote. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt upon by your philosophy, and like I dig that. I really dig that. 2 quotes I dig with religion. That one, and then there's another one. Some people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everyone feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth.
What is that, John Lennon?
Bob Marley.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Were you just trying to appropriate my culture?
Yes, I'm just trying to do a little appropriation over. No, that wasn't appropriating at all. I'm sorry. Can I not say a Bob Marley quote without being an appropriator? Is that what we should call this podcast? The Appropriators?
Yeah. The Appropriators.
Every week we're wearing a different outfit from a culture we shouldn't be a part of. I'm going to show up next week in like a sombrero and a fucking poncho.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be good. And then I feel like we'd slowly run out of cultures because, we'd start
that's the end of our 10 episodes.
Yeah, we're done.
We did them all.
There's only so many races. And finished. But I don't know. So, I mean, what about you, though? I know you're very into science fiction and the comic books and all that type of stuff. When it comes to the universe and how it's made, is that more where you go? Like, you really just think Big Bang, whatever the fuck, that's it.
I mean, yeah.
If I can't see it, if I can't hear it, it ain't there.
I mean, I don't know about the can't see, can't hear it, it's not there. I mean, the Big Bang, like, I think just, like, it happened, like, like, whatever. For some reason, like, things mixed or whatever happened. Like, I don't think, like, there was, like, a creator was like, I'm going to do this now, I just think like, yeah, shit happens, life happens, and like it happened, and we were here, and one accident after another almost like kind of occurred for like us to be here. And I don't really think there's any like grand design. I definitely don't think there's like a man up in the clouds like looking over us, judging us for all our actions. Maybe I could lean more into like the whole like karma thing, and like I can believe with like energy. Like I can dig that, because we do all have energy. I feel like we all have an energy. How we use our energy, where we put our energy, depends on how we exist in the world. But it's all accidents that happened, for lack of a better word, and we just gotta kind of make the best of what we have, and decide what we want for ourselves, and how we I don't, a lot of people think that like people need religion to like know the difference between wrong and right and all that morality. I strongly disagree with that. I feel like I know innately the difference between wrong and right. I feel like people do. That they might not decide to do it or choose it, but I don't feel like that's why people need religion. That's why religion is important. I think that's just fucking bullshit, and that's something that like people that I think most people that like are really believe in religion, they just have a really hard time accepting the fact that we don't know. They just can't accept that they don't know, so they have to create something. Oh, no, it's this, it's that. This is what happens when you die. This is why we have this purpose. This is why we exist, yada, yada, yada. Instead of just being like, I don't fucking know. Like, and that's the reality. Nobody knows. and we just have to like be able to accept that and be okay with that. Perhaps everything is meaningless. Perhaps things don't matter, and like that's all right. You know?
I guess I think really religion. I think why it's so popular is kind of because it's the easiest pathway to, gain access to everything else I was talking about. Like energy and understanding and shit. Like I think it's the easiest and most indoctrinating way of mysticism. I mean, that's really why I think religion exists. I think downright most humans want to believe in things that are otherworldly and that are bigger than themselves.
Okay.
And so when you had these,
but out of fear, I think.
I think certain people used that.
It's like drug for the masses religion, It's like, like shoot me up. Like I have a purpose in this life. I have a reason. Like things are gonna be okay. I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna be a good person. Like
I think
my ancestors, my relatives, my dead grandma, she's in heaven right now looking down on me. It's like, fuck off.
I mean, maybe. I just think that realistically what it is even if in their conscious mind that's why they're doing it for.
Right.
Subconsciously, I think we all yearn for something truly larger than ourselves that will give us great understanding into who we all are as human beings. And I think that's the actual seed of why religion exists, was created, or why somebody had some hallucination and then made this whole religion out of it. And I think that's why. And then as the seed started to grow, all these gross little fucking branches and shit came out of, hey, I want to keep women down. Hey, I want to keep this person down. Hey, this person looks weird, so get rid of them. Hey, this. And that's a part of it. But I think truthfully, the mainstay of it, the main reason that religion has existed in all cultures, like when you're talking about using it to oppress people or hate people, you're really only talking about the 3 Abrahamic faiths. I mean, there's other faiths and stuff too, where maybe they sacrificed a virgin for the sun, but practically most religions that are not those 3 religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, are really more just about giving back to each other and respecting the earth.
I mean, hey, that's a good thing, but I mean, how many other religions are there? Like,
I mean, there's quite a bit. I mean, because you got to think about, but that's all talking about now. You got to think about how many.
But in the past, I just think that God didn't create man created God to cope with the world. And I mean, to create traditions or create customs where you're caring for the earth and you're caring for each other, I think that's an amazing thing. But a lot of religion, a lot of, practice is dealing with, worshiping something else out there that doesn't exist.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's my one thing is that, like, I don't know. That's the thing with white people. You niggas don't believe in shit ever. And it's like, it's weird to me. I
Plenty of white people
empty.
believe in stuff.
No, not unless it's used to victimize somebody or to keep another type of person down. But very rarely do white people ever believe in God just to believe in God and the understanding of our general togetherness on this planet.
I definitely don't believe in God.
Yeah, see? Wow.
You're right, I don't believe in a lot.
The arrogance in that. I don't know.
What do you mean the arrogance to believe in God? I consider myself agnostic. I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. Nobody fucking knows, all right?
I guess so.
I think to say there is a God is as arrogant as saying there isn't a God, because how could you possibly know one way or the other? No one knows. We don't know what there is.
I guess so. I don't know. I just think that to take it out of like everything that happens in my world is simply because of me. I don't necessarily think that that's always true. And
no, it's because of my fucking parents, and they ruined my goddamn life. No, I'm just joking.
See, you joke, but I think that's the seed of why a lot of white people don't believe in like certain shit, because it's just like, I don't know. It's like religion is just another thing to blame. You know what I mean? It's like like, I think a lot of people, it's like they had bad childhoods or this, that, and the third, or they anything that's bigger than for white people, I feel like anything that's like bigger than their comprehension, they feel threatened by, and they get very pissed off at it, and so they try to pick at it and act as if it's something lowly or lesser than.
Weird, because you say that, and I feel like that's what people with like, it's different. Like people like that's why people believe in religion, because they can't like comprehend, they can't deal with this like living in this abyss of not knowing like stuff, so they grasp onto this thing, religion, so they feel like, oh, I have this thing and it's greater than myself. And I mean,
see, but I think that's a kind of an issue of, I think we're having a kind of a culture clash in that way, because I truthfully, like, I have family that are Muslim, I have family that are Christian, I have family that are all types of religions, or just agnostic and stuff like that,
Right.
who doesn't necessarily believe in Jesus Christ and stuff, but it's like they're not necessarily doing it because they don't want to think. It's like they're doing it because it's like I said, there's that initial seed of there's something bigger in not just the world, but in the universe that all connects us together. And so Christianity is my conduit to connect with that in the way that I feel comfortable connecting with that. Or, being a black Israelite or some shit is how I connect with that.
Oh, you're
Or
definitely
being
not connecting with a lot of people being a black Israelite.
Hey,
And
I don't
why
know.
do you need this religion to connect with anybody? Why like you could connect. You don't need religion to connect with the world, to connect with people.
You don't necessarily
Certainly.
need religion, but it's nice to go to a place or go to a group of people and, feel at home initially and talk
Like
to-
church.
Yeah, like church.
So
or,
community. You're basically just searching for a sense of community. And people found that in
not
religion.
only,
But you
it's
don't.
just it's an additive. It's not the only thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And also too, I mean, you can have more than one community.
Absolutely.
I don't think so it's like, just because
Very religious people tend to stay in their communities, and they kind of see other communities as outsiders. Many religious people, this has been a problem. I mean, I'm all for being as part of many communities as you want, and like wanting to feel like you are a part of something, but
Yeah.
it could be something based in reality and of this world, not like something that's like, ugh, fingers crossed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also, I don't know. I think I think you're also too, and maybe I'm generalizing as well, but I feel like you're generalizing because you're talking about, the big three. Don't get me wrong, they are the big three, and I understand
I definitely am talking about
heaven and hell, heaven and hell. But I think that more often than not, it's like when it comes to any sort of minority person, and particularly like black, Hispanic people, and like, just literally any other minority.
Jews are minorities too, by the way.
Yes, sure.
I mean, we are.
But it's
there's less Jews than there are black people, and there's less Jews than there are.
but it's a minority
Hispanics.
with an asterisk, meaning that you're still white people.
Okay, I guess.
So you're
sure.
a part of a vast majority that is still a minority. But
We're a minority in the majority.
yes, exactly.
We get
Exactly.
hated on by the white people. That's why it's so hard out there for a Jew. You see,
Yeah.
we get lumped in by people, of color. That we're just white people, and then the white people are like, they're not really one of us because they're Jews, and we're just like, wandering alone in the desert.
Sure. That's there's some truth to that. I don't know, man. I forget what I was even trying to say, but
That there is no God, Phil. I think
yes,
that's what you're
that there
trying
is
to
no. Yes, that's we've finally decided that there is no God. No, I do.
Let me tell you what to believe in. They're flipping the script right there, because usually the religious people, that's what they do.
You know what it is like, again, I feel like even if because it's like when you talk about religion and faith and stuff like that, you're talking about the Abrahamic faiths and all that type of stuff.
Well, I mean, those are the prevalent religions that exist in the world right now,
Yeah, but I'm saying,
So, I mean, if we want to talk about Greek mythology.
But I'm saying things are what I'm saying is that, like, for minorities, regardless of if they're Christian or any of that, they just have a higher level of like spiritual belief and faith in things larger than themselves that they can't see, they cannot hear, and that they cannot touch.
Do you think that maybe has to do with because like they've been, I'm
No.
just spitballing
It
here.
does not have to do with slavery or oppression.
Well, no, that they've been oppressed so much that they're always looking out for some sort of hope or something. And the Jewish people, I can see this too, that we've gone through so much, in the Holocaust, you're in these horrible places, you're in a concentration camp, you're in Auschwitz, work will set you free, you're seeing people killed. All you have is to hope of there's something greater, there's something more, there's someone like looking out for you, like it's almost like, that's the only place your mind can go to stay sane.
Nah, I don't think that.
Fine, way to shut that down. So much for the yes and UCB, and you were like, "Fuck no, Jonathan."
What the fuck?
I like it at first. You're like, "Don't speak for black people," and I was like, "Jews in the Holocaust," and you're like, "All right, you can finish."
I was like, "Let it go." I mean, let it go. I don't know, but no, I think no, I think that's something that if you look deep into our cultures and stuff like that, it's something that has literally always been there way before colonialism even existed. It is who all of us are, and I don't know if that's necessarily for if it just comes from like African roots or something, because when I do speak of minorities and stuff, I usually am talking about more like black people, Latino people especially too. They believe in a lot of that type of stuff, like ghosts.
They love Jesus.
Ghosts and like and souls and passing on and energy.
Chupacabra.
And homes and fucking chupacabra. Make it more offensive, please.
Oh, they're always seeing Mary and tortillas and shit.
But no, I think there's this profound connection that I feel like for some reason the Western world has just never had. It's like God is either there to serve you or to smite you, and that's it. It's two binary paths. You know what I mean? And that is it. Whereas for us, and I feel like most other cultures, God is just something that's God or the creator or the universe or the energy of the world or the spirits or whatever names they would have went by, are just something that is. And that is it. It's just something that it is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it just always simply is there as a weight that ties all of us together on this earth.
I mean, the way you say it like that, it is nice. I got to be honest. It's nice. It's nice when you say that. I feel like I could like swallow that a lot easier than a lot of like some religious stuff.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you bring a real like practicality to it all. You know,
true. I mean,
and I feel like I
can do voiceovers and shit.
We don't need religion. We need humanity. We need to connect as people. We need to be picking each other up.
But the problem is though, before white people, we called that religion, my nigga.
Before white people,
we called that religion. The Mauritius and shit, dog. The fucking sky people with natives and shit, man. We used to call that religion, and I feel like even though
So you think white people ruin religion?
Yes, I do. I think white people ruin the world, but we can go into that later.
Wow. We did a lot of good things for the world too. Just saying.
But I love your pussy. I love the white pussy. It's nice.
Hey, thank you.
That's fine.
Appreciate it. I'm a fan myself. Sometimes. I'm trying to fucking broaden my horizons, but I keep coming back to white.
Oh yeah,
just love. I don't know. Yeah, white.
No, that's fine.
White pussy for me. I wanted to get like involved with like a Latino girl. I'm really like looking for a Latino girl or a Palestinian girl. Is what I really want, but like they don't want anything to do with me because I'm a Jew. But I would love to be with a Palestinian woman.
It's like the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode,
right? They make the best chicken too. No.
Fucking Palestinian,
yeah, but anyway, wow, I love it. We just took the turn. We went from God to pussy like that.
Not? That's how
what's most important.
That's how we go.
God, please grant us some pussy now.
See now, my God, He will bestow pussy upon you.
Really?
All you have to do is ask for it.
Okay, hey,
all you have to do is ask.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, dude, like. Yeah,
maybe she doesn't want to be asked right now. All right, you didn't consent to that. I love it how you were like, religion's too binary, like you're fucking trans spiritual or some shit.
Well, nowadays it's weird. It's like the only thing that's binary is gender. I mean, the only thing that's non-binary is gender nowadays.
Right.
Everything else, it's like if you make one statement, you're that.
For a second, I'm like, this isn't being produced by the Daily Wire. What are you talking about?
But I think that's like an issue, man. I think you can have a million different beliefs and a million different faiths and mix things together and find the truth for yourself. But back to this pussy situation.
Back to the pussy situation.
Back to the pussy. Yeah, when's the last time you fucked somebody who was not white?
Jeez, it's been a while.
Really?
A non-white?
Yeah, non-white.
And Jews don't count.
Jews don't count.
I slept with a Brazilian girl, but she was white, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll count that as like
she had very white, beautiful porcelain skin.
It is white. It is white, and I mean, even for you, that's worse because she's probably German, dude.
Jeez,
How'd you bang her?
An Indian girl. Like,
why would you bang?
Banged an Indian girl.
Banging the boys from Brazil.
But that was like a couple, like maybe 2 years ago.
Okay,
an Indian girl, and yeah, but no, the white girls is really, I feel like. That, yeah.
And do you feel more? And I'm not no judgment here because we've talked about it on the podcast or on your other stuff before. Do you feel more comfortable like with white women or something?
I don't think it's that. I think it's just like an attraction thing.
Really?
That I have. Like that's like I'm most attracted to white women.
Jewish women or
not really. I feel like Jewish women are a small fraction of the women that I've slept with. I feel
really?
like I'm mostly more towards. But you know what? Some of the Jewish girls that I've slept with, tightest pussies.
Really?
The tightest pussies of. Oh my gosh, there was this one. Yeah, two Jewish girls come to mind.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I was like obsessed with them because they had the tightest pussies, and I was like, I gotta see more, like just because like it was that good, and they were both kind of like, this guy is fucking nuts. Yeah, like, and like I don't know how to tell them, like you got a really tight pussy. I'm sorry, I've never like
sometimes you gotta say that.
Sex with a girl that had like like such a tight pussy, and like I had sex with a girl whose pussy was like so non-tight. Like I'm sorry, I don't know, like untight. Like I don't even know what's the right vernacular to say. Loosey goosey, baby. And it was like, and I didn't know what to say. Like the first couple, she was a white girl, and and like the first like bunch of times we had sex, like I couldn't climax, because it was like so loose. And she's like, oh, like what's wrong? Like like what do you have a erectile dysfunction or some bullshit? Like how do I tell her, no, your pussy's a
lame.
fucking canyon, bitch? Like I like how you can't say that to a girl. Like it's too much. Like let me stuff something in here. So I could like not. But these other two girls, one in particular, oh my gosh, like I wish I could sleep with her again.
Did you tell these women how good their pussies were?
No, I tried to tell one of them. I wanted to tell one of them, and she's like, didn't want to hear it.
What do you mean? How did you go about proposing? That must have been after she was like done with you.
She was kind of done with me, and I'm like, I really got to tell you, like why I'm. And
she probably has like
so
good
interested.
Pussy, so she's probably like maybe had more men be obsessed with her.
No, I don't think so, because I slept with this girl.
Yeah.
She had told me she hadn't had sex with anybody for like a year. Maybe that's why her pussy was so tight.
Probably. There you go.
And then I connected with her like a year after that, and she told me she hadn't slept with anybody since me.
Really?
I was the only guy she fucked in like 2 years.
That's weird.
Right? And then she like hit me up. Then she hit me up again, and I was like, yeah. I was like so excited. Because I was actually dating the loose pussy girl at that time. And I was like, I need some fucking tight pussy. But no, the tight pussy girl, she always stuck with me. Like sometimes when I masturbate, I even masturbate to her.
Really?
Like seriously, like honestly, she was annoying as fuck. But I'm like, I would totally go out with her again, like in a heartbeat. I would give her another try now.
Really?
Like I would be like nicer. Like she had the best pussy I ever had.
Wow.
Best I ever had.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think the best pussy I've ever had. I've had some good times, man. I've had some good times. I actually had a girl who was insanely tight. She's probably the tightest pussy I've ever fucked. But the sex still wasn't that good.
That's weird, because when you're talking about this, I'm thinking of this, like when I'm saying the best pussy, like it wasn't necessarily the best sex, but it was like the best tightest pussy.
Yes,
I'm just it's a tightness. I'm sorry.
No.
You can take your enthusiasm and your effort and shove it, unless your pussy's tight. I don't know. I'm never getting laid after someone watches those.
No, that's real.
Hey, check out my podcast. Not that one. The other ones.
Hey, honestly, you're probably going to get laid a lot more from this shit. On some real shit, I feel like sometimes women, not all the time, but sometimes women really respect like honesty when it comes to like sex and shit. and just like because there's been times maybe where like I've been like into a girl, like the sex has just been great and everything, and maybe she's like playing me a little bit, and then we bump into each other at some random place or something. We strike up another conversation. I'm talking to her, and we get a little close, and I tell her like, "Yo, that was fucking fire." Like, there's a reason why I want to fuck you. Like, we don't need any fucking, real connections or commitment.
Well, you already slept with them, so that's like easier than
this is
to like
only the women you've slept
broach
with
the
already.
subject when you haven't, like, know, because some women I find like they want you to be. Like, it's very weird, women because they're like, we want an aggressive guy, Like I feel like women, especially like with sex, like they want a guy to be dominant, Yeah, but like they want a guy that they like to be aggressive or dominant. And the hardest part is you don't know whether or not they like you until things go to a certain level, you know what I mean? So and they don't know whether they like you until things go to a different level. They don't know what they want.
Just be super aloof and reserved until she's like, go for it, and then just go for it.
Yes, I think that is the best way to get laid.
All emotion.
That is the best way. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think you should do that. I don't recommend people doing that. But that is what women respond to. I totally believe that. I totally agree with that. There's some movie, Sean Astin has like a quote in this movie. I don't know what movie it is where he's talking
or something.
Is that what it is?
I think he's it, or is it Hitch?
Kevin James is in Hitch. Kevin James. Sorry. Anyways, where he's talking about, how a beautiful woman will be in a room and 10 guys will be, buying her drinks and doing everything she wants and whatever, and she won't give a shit about any of them. And then one guy comes in and he's rude to her and he doesn't give, and that's the guy that she likes.
Well,
and I totally feel like there is something true with that, and that women develop feelings for a guy in this state of not knowing, like whether he's kind of like interested in this, like, oh, does he like me? Is he gonna call me? Is he gonna this is when a woman develops feelings. So when you're like, they say the nice guys finish last and all that, like when you're being super nice and you're being a gentleman and you're doing that, like it ends up turning off the women, even though they'll all tell you, no, that's what we want, that's what we like it's fucking bullshit.
That's true, but I also feel like I feel like the words you're saying are kind of like labeled wrong almost, though. Like you can still be nice and be aloof, you can still be nice and not be on her so much, and also too, like you can do the thing I was talking about without like really neglecting her and like or being mean to her or insulting her.
Not be authentic to yourself and your feelings at the moment, and putting on kind of playing a game and putting on a facade to win over, like to win her affections. No,
but I think the gift of it is to have that part of you become the authenticity in a truly authentic way, where it's like, I think maybe it was just for me, just dealing with like being young, dealing with so many women where I would get my hopes up, and then I'd get annoyed or something, and you know what I mean, just different bullshit would happen. It's like as soon as I just started giving a shit, caring too much, things would pull away. And I think after a while, I think also too, I think that caring too much in a way, and this might make everyone's eyes roll, but I think in a way that was almost inherently kind of misogynist, because I'm putting her on this pedestal, you know what I mean, and almost she's not a real person in a sense, whereas now when I meet a woman, I'm thinking of her, yes, I see her as attractive, and I'm like, fuck, she's hot, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna fucking talk to her and hopefully I can get laid, you know what I mean? I do think that in my head. I'm like, shit, and she'll say something that's cool, I'm like, fuck, and she's cool, that's dope. But a part of me also too is treat her in the same way that I treat a man that I just bumped into. It's like, I don't know you. Who are you? Like, who are you actually? You
know what I mean? Like, I dig that. Like,
you're hot, but I can go home and beat off.
100%.
I'm not going to deal with your attitude.
I'm all about
or
the
anything
beat off.
like that. I'm not going to deal with your attitude, like your shitty energy. As soon as you say something that's like some weird type of red flag that I've had to deal with in my past, I'm gone. And I think once you have those principles, you know what I mean, and you're unwavering on those principles. God, I sound like Dante. Fuck. But it's like, but
yeah, okay, Andrew Tate, whatever.
But it's like once you have those principles and you're unwavering in those principles, then like it makes things a billion times easier. And maybe me calling it aloof isn't the best word, but just standing on your shit like hard and just be like,
I think that's a little different than being aloof, but I mean, hey, you definitely should be secure and have boundaries for yourself. I think those are important. And
maybe people called me aloof because I have,
like and
people tell me I have more of a relaxed nature, so maybe that's why they called me aloof. So I just took it like that. But yeah, just sticking to your fucking guns and just being like, dude, I am who I am, and like whoever you are, even if you're hot, like it doesn't phase me. It doesn't really phase me. Like, yes, it'd be nice to have sex with you or be in a relationship, depending on who the person is, personality wise. But truth be told, it's like I could never see you again, and that might suck if we really connected. But at the end of the day, I'm still with myself and I accept myself, so that's fine.
Well, that's what you got to do. I think you got to accept yourself and you got to love yourself. And I feel like we could talk a lot about this and women and relationships, and I think we will.
Yes.
So tune in, motherfuckers.
There you go. I think that's a good place to sign off too.
I think for now, yeah. I think we touched on some good stuff, but I feel like these are topics that I would like to explore more. Philosophy, religion, spirituality.
This is why,
and of course, pussy, whether it's loosey goosey or tighty tighty.
Yeah. There you go. That's terrible. Don't call it tighty tighty.
Tighty tighty?
In front of any woman.
I mean, I was going to say tighty whitey. I'm like, that's not bad. Don't say that in front of women.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in my dating profile? Yeah. Tighty tighty. Anyways, I'm probably never going to get laid again, but I'm really into masturbating these days, so that's okay. Yeah, it's a lot easier. You don't have to, like, someone's hanging around after. You can just fall asleep, do what you want. But anyways.
This has been the show.
Right, this is it. I'm Jonathan Randall. Check me out on social media at Jonathan Randall.
And I'm Phil Rizdon, and we'll come up with a name for this later. Peace.